Like, comment, and subscribe for more content. What is cooking? Good looking. Welcome back to the channel. So there I was, minding my own business, looking up places that sold smoked turkey legs. You know smoked turkey legs? Like when you go to an amusement park and they got the whole turkey drumstick, just, oh my God. Woo! Dude, I love that. That's like my obsession right now. Then it hit me. I realized that the physical edition of the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection drops later this month, right? And listen, I already pre-ordered mine, but this is my PSA. If you guys have not done so, go out and pre-order it, right? Or just buy it when it comes out. That way, they can never take those games away from us ever again, right? But while we're talking about Marvel vs. Capcom stuff, you know, lately I've been looking at a lot of cut content, a lot of cut characters, cut costumes for like Street Fighter and whatnot. So I want to do the same with the Marvel vs. Capcom series, right? Because Marvel, the hype for it is at an all-time high, right? So this video, we're going to look at a handful of characters that were cut from the Marvel vs. Capcom games, right? And I'll say it again, we're looking at some characters, not all of them, because if we did, we would be here all day. This would be a 3-hour video if I looked at all of them. But before we get into it, do me a favor, guys. Leave a like, subscribe if you guys like Capcom stuff, if you guys like fighting games. Help your boy out. I would appreciate it. But without any further ado, we're going to start with Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl is this like super meme-ified Marvel character, right? For the uninitiated, the layman who have no idea who Squirrel Girl is. She's a girl, but she's got squirrel powers, right? I know, truly groundbreaking stuff here, right? So the whole joke with Squirrel Girl is that she's the unbeatable Squirrel Girl. That's like her title, right? And it's because for some reason she's just really powerful, right? She's beaten characters like Wolverine. She's beaten Taskmaster in a 1v1. That's my favorite Marvel character, by the way. I love me some Taskmaster, right? She's beaten Thanos. She's beaten Galactus. We don't know how. Well, I mean, we do know how. She's unbeatable, right? It's as says on the tin, right? Like, I don't know how, but, you know. But a lot of people like Squirrel Girl, and she was considered for Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Unfortunately, they picked Rocket Raccoon over her, right? I don't know how far in development Squirrel Girl was, but at the end of the day, they decided, you know, hey, Rocket, he's a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. They got a movie coming out soon. They went with him instead. I don't know how Squirrel Girl would play. Maybe she'd be like a brawler, and then, you know, maybe she would... Oh, you know what? Maybe she would play like Felicia, kind of? Who knows, right? In the next Marvel vs. Capcom game, I can see her getting in, right? She's one of those super popular meme characters, right? So for her, if there is another Marvel vs. Capcom game, I think it's just a matter of time. So moving on from Squirrel Girl, our next character. This one stings, right? It really does. This one pains me. The next character is Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil. Dude, I can't believe, man, till this day, I can't believe they did this, right? Leon, and to, you know, another extent, Chris Redfield as well, right? The main characters to the Resident Evil games, they're basically just superheroes, right? Especially Resident Evil 4 Leon, right? Where he's like a Secret Service agent. This dude is like, how did he not make it into Marvel vs. Capcom? How? He's perfect, right? They've even modded him into Marvel vs. Capcom 3, right? And he fits perfectly, you know? So, the reason why Leon did not make it in is because Capcom thought that Americans, we liked Frank West more. So they put Frank West in. God, dude, I can't believe it. Till this day, I can't believe they've done this. I can't believe it. Listen, dude, Frank West, he's created an enemy, a generational enemy out of me. I hate Frank West now. I hate Dead Rising. I didn't even buy the remaster because he took Leon's spot. Dude, I hate him. I hate him so much, right? With that being said, just like Squirrel Girl, if there is another Marvel vs. Capcom game, I think it is nigh impossible for Leon not to make it in, you know? Of course he would make it in, right? You would think. Anyway, moving on from Leon, because I could talk about Leon being snubbed all the live long day. I am truly bothered by that. The next character is Dr. Octopus, right? Doc Ock, if you don't want to use his full government name. So Doc Ock, from what I've heard, he was pretty close to being finished, right? He had a character icon in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, right? It's just that for whatever reason they couldn't figure him out, right? Maybe the tentacles, his weird octopus tentacles, they couldn't figure it out. I don't know why that would be the reason, because Shumagorath is in the game. Shumagorath has at least twice as many tentacles than Doc Ock. But you know what? For some reason, they decided to cut him. Me personally, I'm not super attached to Doc Ock. He's maybe my third, maybe fourth favorite Spider-Man villain. Maybe, right? Possibly even fifth if you want to throw Taskmaster in there. But the moral of the story is he didn't make it, right? I much rather would have taken, Green Goblin, but you know what? That's just me. So moving on from Doc Ock, the next character is a Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite character. That's right, we're getting a little dangerous here. We're getting a little dangerous. So Marvel Infinite, famously, it ended after like 1 or 2 rounds of DLC, right? One of the DLC characters was supposed to be Rasheed from Street Fighter V, right? And I like that a lot because Rasheed, he's in my top 3 favorite Street Fighter characters. I love Rasheed a lot. He was my number 1 for a long time, right? I just don't like the way he plays in Street Fighter 6. So I've had to disassociate a little bit. He's really good, don't get me wrong. He's one of the best characters in the game. I'm not a fan of his playstyle. That's it, that's just me. But he was supposed to be in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and Infinite was Infinite, So they just shut down the support for that game, and therefore we never got Rasheed. Now we're going to go back to Marvel vs. Capcom 3. We're going to go back to Marvel vs. Capcom 3 because these characters, the next characters I'm going to talk about, I do say characters, right? I do say characters. They kind of bleed over into Infinite as well, right? And it's the Fantastic Four. So the Fantastic Four, that whole situation, pretty sloppy, okay? We ended up getting Super Skrull, who just had, he has all of their abilities, right? Initially, the Fantastic Four, they were going to be one character, the Fantastic Four, right? And apparently Marvel didn't want to do that, so they decided to make them all, 4 individual characters, right? But they started with the Human Torch, and they also stopped with the Human Torch. They're like, you know what? This is stupid. All this fire, it's too much, right? It's taking too much time to code it right. This isn't gonna work out, right? So they scrapped that idea, and they just worked all 4 of the characters into Super Skrull. And that's why Super Skrull is in the game, right? And then Super Skrull did not return in Marvel Infinite, because Marvel Infinite was supposed to be this like big MCU game, right? And there's no X-Men or Fantastic Four characters in that game. So he got cut from Marvel Infinite, right? Super sloppy situation there, I don't even know what to say. I like me the Human Torch. Listen, I'm a fire dude. I like all things fire and explosive. So of course I would have taken the Human Torch happily. I would have happily taken the Human Torch, At the end of the day, we got Dormammu and Ghost Rider, so I can't be that mad, Going back to the Capcom side, I'm not done with Dead Rising. I have another bone to pick with Dead Rising, because they were going to add another Dead Rising character into Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Chuck Green, the main character of Dead Rising 2. They were going to throw this dude into the game as well. Over Leon. I can't believe, dude. What is happening, man? Jesus Christ, dude. Hey, man, good riddance, okay? By the way, I have nothing against Chuck Green. I really don't. I'm more angry at Frank West. Frank West took that Leon spot, so he's drawn my ire for the rest of the time. But Chuck Green, that's just twisting the knife that I've already been stabbed with, But he's not really the character I want to talk about right here, right? I just threw him in as a little extra. The last character I want to talk about. This character would have been perfect for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite or Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And supposedly he was considered for both. This character is Gil, the final boss of Street Fighter 3, the Messiah of the Illuminati. right? This dude has a lot of titles, I know. So Gil, super cool character, right? He's half fire, half ice, right? That's why he's half red and half blue, right? And man, how did we not get him? He's like one of those characters that's like, he would have made so much sense, right? A lot of the Street Fighter characters, they're basically just superheroes, right? Gil would have been perfect. I can imagine his combos involving him freezing you and then thawing you out. Just like, I don't even know what they call it in Street Fighter V. The Retribution effect, that's what it's called. In Street Fighter V, all of his combos revolve around him freezing you and then lighting you on fire, right? And the resulting mixing of the elements causes this like big like stun state. Really cool, really dynamic gameplay there, right? And man, I feel like we got robbed that he wasn't in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, or at least Marvel Infinite, you know? So Gil's the last character I want to talk about today. Who do you guys? Well, I mean, I don't want my comment section to turn into like a wish list situation, right? Here's the question: there's 100 or so more snubbed Marvel vs. Capcom characters. Do you guys want to see a part 2 to this video? Let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, guys, that's the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.